Papi, yeah, they calling me Mr. Happy Papi, Mr. Happy Papi, cause I ever happy, yeah. Stress for what? No, no, no. Vex for what? No, no, no. Stress for what? No, no, no. Nothing can get to me. Fret for what?
Political leader and Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. His Worship, the Mayor, the First Citizen of San Fernando, Alderman Junior Regrello. My many distinguished cabinet colleagues present here from both the House of Representatives and the Senate. My distinguished past Minister of Agriculture, in particular, Leader of Government Business in the Senate, Clarence Rambarat, my dear friend. Beautiful people of San Fernando East. Beautiful people of San Fernando West. Ladies and gentlemen of the listening public, the viewing public tonight, I say welcome to the People's National Movement. We stand for the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Permit me, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce myself. I am Faris Al Rawi. On the 16th of March 2022, my Prime Minister assigned me the task of leading the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government. And permit me to read for the nation what that task is as set out in my instrument of appointment. Construction and maintenance of access roads, drainage and irrigation systems. Local government. Monitoring of work program of all service delivery agencies to ensure optimal benefit for rural communities. Municipal and other local government bodies. National Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program. Parks and recreation grounds. Public health and sanitation. Rural development planning and management, waste management. And listen to this as I say it slowly. Winding up of operations of the Ministry of Local Government and managing the transition to the new service delivery arrangements. Let me tell you why I have introduced myself. Because I stand here in my familiar red with a national coat of arms on my chest, with the name of the ministry embroidered on my chest. But on the other side, on the right side of my chest, leading to my heart, you will see the words, hashtag, I am LG. And let me tell you why. I am, as we must all be, local government. I say that because local government must encapsulate rural development and become one. I say that because this task, in my mind, is one that I consider to be the most important task that I have been given in the history of the work that I have happily accepted at the invitation and by blessing of the Honorable Prime Minister. This task I rank as number one. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you know me, and you know I'm a man of data. You know I move with pace. You know I have energy. You know I don't walk I run. You know that I smile. You know my back broad. You know I'm accustomed to pressure. I learned from one of the best, after all. But let me tell you this. The Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government is thanks to the hard work of my brother and colleague, Senator Kazim Hussain, and thanks to the efforts of the late Franklin Khan, it is at the cusp of delivery for the people. It wasn't built by mistake, because sitting in this audience is the very distinguished and lovely Hazel Manning. Sitting in this audience is Lady Joan, as I refer to her. And in the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government, I wonder if you understand where we are. This ministry is a multi-billion-dollar ministry. This ministry touches 14 regional corporations. This ministry manages CPEP, rural development, afforestation. This ministry coordinates with the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands and Fisheries, Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, Ministry of Planning, Ministry of Health, Legal Services and Divisions. This ministry is about the people. And as a member of Parliament, duly elected twice by the people of San Fernando West, I return with pleasure for the purpose of serving people in local government. Now, did you know that this ministry actively employs, whereas the last ministry I was in employed 1,920 people, I have confirmed today this ministry employs 26,659 people. This ministry spends 75% of its allocations in giving local government subventions. This ministry has said to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, let us craft a new vision. Let us create a vision where people see themselves in a better future. Let us break the mold of central government barely in touch since 1962 in a meaningful way with the people. Let us complete the mission and vision of our Honorable Prime Minister now by ensuring that we take services and locate them right next to the people, for the people. Let me break it down. Is it dignity to have people turn up at a cashier to make a payment, to find out the cashier is not there, to pay for a food badge? Is it dignity for a market vendor at 2 o'clock in the morning and 3 o'clock in the morning at the Northern Wholesale Market, at any one of our markets, to have to wait to pay the stipend that is paid and find out that it is rejected or the payment is lost? Is it appropriate for licensing committees to not be in existence? Is it appropriate for people to sit in their homes and not have satisfaction that their bulk waste is moving, that their garbage is moving, that when they make a call, that their lights can be coordinated? Is it time for us to say that coordination of services must be bettered so that when WASA digs a hole on the brand new Corporation Road, that we don't have to fall into it? Is it appropriate, ladies and gentlemen, to understand that you live next to grass that is 13 feet tall? Now, these are things that I'm saying that we all relate to. Councillors here from the San Fernando City Corporation can testify. I, as an MP, Brian Manning as an MP, San Fernando West, San Fernando East, we know, because these are the complaints that we get. The request for job opportunities in the corporation, the request for services at home. My job is to bring what I am good at into this ministry. And permit me to suggest to you what a different Trinidad looks like. Notice I said Trinidad, because my role in the municipal corporations is for the 14 here. When I deal with CPEP, it plants into Tobago, but the THA has a model that allows it a degree of autonomy such that a Tobago alderman is not the same as a Tobago secretary, because they are councillors and not aldermen. They are secretaries and not councillors. You get my drift. Tobago is run differently. And at the cusp of bringing to life local government reform legislation, which I had the pleasure, while supervising in a different way, to bring to life whilst my colleague Clarence Rambarat chaired the committee that worked on the report, I have the pleasure of witnessing the law meet the Parliament tomorrow morning. But ladies and gentlemen, it is not a matter of law. Law is good on the books. It is the operationalization of law, so that you could feel the benefit of law. What do I mean? Thanks to the Honorable Prime Minister, I had the pleasure of ensuring nobody had to reach inside of a registry to go and pay for a birth certificate. Online, click on your phone, TT Post in your hand. Thanks to the Honorable Prime Minister, we have already dealt with the issue of installing digital tracking of services. So when you call the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government and you make a complaint to a corporation, that you know that somebody is tracking your services. So that you know that it's going to come to you and it didn't get lost in a piece of paper that got lost at the end of the day as you feel frustration in the delivery of services. Imagine a world, ladies and gentlemen, where on an app on your phone, you can report the leak at your ground, the overgrown bush next door to you, the light that is not working, and know LG has already built the app. Know that the e-vote book, to make sure we could track expenditure, is something that we already implemented in another place, in a different incarnation, and therefore you are building the ability to take what you have from one arm of government and put it into another arm of government, because we are not reinventing the wheel. You may have heard me say this before. Meaningful transformation is a combination thing for me. Plant and machinery, people, processes. I used to refer to the law, I still will, because under the Municipal Corporations Act, which is now my universe, you have to have systems. So today, I met with all 14 corporations. Today, I met with CEOs. I met with financial controllers. I had the IT department. Because the same way we already allowed people to go to court on a laptop, appear from prison on a laptop, saving hundreds of millions of dollars, is the same way local government can come to us. This is the reason that I wear tonight the coat of arms on the left of my chest and not just the balize. Because tonight I am talking as local government for the whole country. Today I said to the chairman, imagine a world, as some of the chairmen said to me, well, we'll see what tomorrow brings in the debate. I said, oh really? I want to assure you, whatever it brings it for all of us. Because in the local government reform is the message that says, councillors elected, aldermen appointed, move into full time in a municipal council. What does that look like? That looks like a parliament. They move to 4 years. Their job is to make policy for the good governance of the corporation. Our corporation in San Fernando is nearly 50,000 strong. Some corporations are 148,000 strong. We then say, as I said to the chairman today, what could be wanting in having an executive council? What is an executive council? It looks like a cabinet. And the cabinet has the ability to control the corporation, no longer having a mayor, a chairman, at the mercy of a division which is separate and apart. And you hear chairman and you hear mayor say, well, I give the instruction and I don't know if it's been carried out because I have to deal with this and I'm waiting for that. No, ladies and gentlemen, your executive council is a full-time job, no longer a part-time job on a stipend. Your councillors on executive council serve you on a full-time basis, the same way every member of parliament who sits in a cabinet has to be full-time on the job, not part-time on the job. Ladies and gentlemen, my brother and friend Terence Dialsing, he ran the Ministry of Health in a very difficult time. And in it, you got to see some of the best of Trinidad and Tobago. You didn't know about Dr. Roshan Parasram. You didn't know about Avery Hines, about Dr. Michelle Trotman, about Dr. Miriam Richards. You didn't know that we had public servants of that caliber, Cambridge graduates, UE graduates. But because we have a scientist for a prime minister, a man who himself, when volcanoes were erupting and had the job to clear people out of Caribbean islands, who understood the value of taking technical advice, we saw the quality of those people. Why am I mentioning this? That is what local government is doing. Local government borrows a regional health authority model, where local government gets to hire its own people. But ladies and gentlemen, remember Max Senhouse? For those who are too young, like my dear beautiful sister Renuka, we need the money. Champagne taste and Morby pocket. We know that expression? Shorthand and long pocket. Our Prime Minister, against all odds, in the face of insult after insult, has championed a matter which he will deal with. And that is the lifeblood of populating the fund that local government works with. Now you tell me, in this bill, that the corporation chairman warned me about today, they're waiting to see what the yellow have to say on that. You tell me what could be wrong with a division that ensures in the multiple divisions now we're creating standing committees. The standing committees deal with culture, they deal with planning, they deal with development, they deal with the aged, they deal with social welfare, they have an audit committee. You tell me what could be wrong with taking the money from where you live and ensuring that it is spent on your schools and your roads and your drains and your lots. Our lots, our country. Because Max Senhouse was right. We need the money. San Fernando West and City of San Fernando and Pointe-a-Pierre and Oropouche West and Oropouche East that bound us. All you see what going on in San Fernando? Do you see development around you? For years we talked about the waterfront without understanding it in individual pieces. My motto that I have practiced so far, as I'm on a learning curve myself, is just start. You see, very often we get lost in perfection. And perfection is often the enemy of good results. We plan, but we don't start. And if you drive around San Fernando, you will see development moving, not by mistake. It is the Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago that has underwritten the development. What will achieve the vision of a better life for us, where people can access the services of local government? How many of you, how many of us know that local government controls and is responsible for 80% of the road network in Trinidad and Tobago? Did you know that? You think Ministry of Works and Transport? Well, yes, they have major arteries and roadways, but when you get in pressure with your car and your tire fall in a hole so deep as mine did going up on the north coast as I started in rural community of Brasso Seco last weekend, and day by day I'll be on the ground all over Trinidad and Tobago, you tell me what excuse we can give to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. That is why our Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Keith Rowley, took the initiative to have a note come to Cabinet to create a secondary road repair and rehabilitation company, which has been approved by the Cabinet and which, according to my last conversation with him, comes to the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government. After all, this is not about talking, ladies and gentlemen. This is about performing. Performance requires support. I could ask for no better support than the Honorable Prime Minister, a man who has underwritten and supported all of the other developments that we have had, that people are just not in the pressure that we are taking recognizing. Like the success of the Ministry of Health, like the success at the last ministry I just left. Epic successes. You see, we are fed bad news constantly. And what happens is bad news sucks the life of your soul because people have lost the need and understanding of kindness. People don't say thank you again. People don't say good words of encouragement. But in the PNM, the Prime Minister reminded me the other day at the General Council, our line and our refrain is, we never get weary. And we don't get weary, ladies and gentlemen, in this government because it requires us to have faith. I received a few messages, some very cherished. One of them from a boss who reminded me that you chart your own course and that we are here to serve and that we are here to ensure that the people of Trinidad and Tobago can see a better future. Our turn at the wheel comes up every time an election is called, and between now and then, I have a habit of counting my tenure in months. My tenure is as an MP. That is what I was assigned to do. That's what the people of San Fernando West assigned me to do. This mission of local government is a badge that I wish everybody to wear. Hashtag, I am LG. You notice it doesn't have RD in it, because RD has to become LG. You notice I started off by telling you that the mission in my instrument of appointment is to wind up operations of the Ministry of Local Government and manage the transition to the new service delivery arrangements. What I can say is that thanks to the faith and confidence of my leader and the cooperation and commitment of my colleagues, we have a good track record to borrow from. What I can say to each and every councillor in Trinidad and Tobago, be it Marabella West as I see him here, be it any one of our councillors and past councillors sitting here, how many past councillors are here? The point is, we know the message is on the ground. The delivery is to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. The sentiment, the hope, the faith is to us to have a better life. And there is no better understanding of any ministry closer to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, you know I like to boast about my ministries, than the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government. From the minute you open your eye and your nose start to smell what is next door to your lot, to understanding what was picked up or what was not, to understanding the epic opportunity of a recycling industry, a multi-billion-dollar industry, to understanding that agriculture fits into rural development and local government, so that the truth that money does grow on trees becomes a reality. People forget that agriculture is money, and money can grow on a tree provided you have the coordination of resources, you have the technology and learning. You have the ability to create the structure. You put it on the land, you grow it, you sell it, you move it to market, you move it to manufacturers, you take the money and you reinvest it in the communities right where they are. Bayshore, as we build 400 HVIP homes. And if you've never seen them, folks, go and see them. It's done right next to an agricultural farming community. That is rural development. That is making people move from invisibility to visibility. What do I mean by that? You are invisible when you don't own the land that you are on. You are invisible if your family has been on a plot of land for 60 years and you can't take it to the bank and mortgage it. You are invisible if you don't have a light bill in your name, but you become visible when rural development takes you to land ownership in conjunction with the Ministry of Agriculture. I'll wrap up. My mission for the government and at the behest of the Honorable Prime Minister is to get it done. It is a mission that I am extremely excited about. It puts me right back to where I have had experience. It puts me on the ground. It puts me into gear, not for myself, ladies and gentlemen, because I've been assigned a responsibility. What I can promise you is I will give you my heart and soul and every living, breathing breath that I have of commitment and hard work. Honorable Prime Minister, honorable colleagues, with your coordination and support, because we need the money, with your coordination and support, we can get this done. I am Faris Al Rawi, Minister of Rural Development and Local Government. Hashtag I am LG. Great is the PNM, and we can and will prevail. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Happy Papi, Mr. Happy Papi, yeah, what they call it.